Okay, well, let's go ahead and have a seat, getting comfortable, whether it's easy seated pose or your legs extended. You have a block handy today, maybe even a blanket. Not sure whether we'll use a strap at all, but if you have a strap or sash handy, um, that would be good in case we do use it. So we'll begin just with our breathing. Check in with ourselves. Do just a little body scan here as we begin to breathe in through the nose and out the mouth. Notice the gentle engagement of your abdominals, lengthening your spine and lifting out from the crown of your head. Notice on the inhalation the length you create, the expansion of the ribs and the belly, all while you're keeping that gentle engagement in the abdominals. Fully exhaling out. Noticing anywhere on your body that you're taking special care of and honoring that today, as always. Continuing with your smooth breath, releasing any tension with your exhale. Noticing how the shoulders soften as you breathe out and how your chest broadens as you take that inhalation. Thinking about our wake up today, just taking the pads of our fingers, finding the collarbones, just gently massage right below the collarbones, starting that battery pack, getting everything moving forward for the day. Continue this breath in the nose, out the mouth while we do our wake up. Flick off the fingers, come to your thymus, and tap. Breath flowing. Flick it off. Side seams, spleen points, digestion, and metabolizing. Shake that off. Come to your cheekbones and lightly tap. And shake that off. And then take 2 to 3 integrative breaths here. And releasing any residual tension. And then go ahead and lightly tap on top of the thighs. And then dust it off, shake it off, cross it over. And then shake it off. Have our hands, set our intention, perhaps for our practice today or our day in general, whatever you choose. Zip that up into your field Sweep it out. 2 more. And then finally, we'll hook that up, cleansing that auric space and setting the energetic spine. One more breath. And then shake that off. Now, if you have a block handy, just extend right leg out, draw that left foot in toward the thigh. And if you need some padding beneath that left knee, go ahead and accommodate that for yourself. So with a block or two, I'll just probably use one. Of course, the different heights here. Let's just hinge out kind of from the side, but place that forearm on the block. Turn so that the shoulder is right in line with that block and that leg. And then either lifting the shoulder up, maybe the arm comes up, starting with that palm up, and then you can kind of turn. That palm faces down. We're lifting up, letting and allowing the head to just be relaxed. The head and neck are relaxed here, but we're lifting up through our side waist. Breathing, noticing that opening side stretch. If this is too much with that top arm, you can certainly just take that behind the small of the back or place it on your hip. Otherwise, you can get a nice stretch here and through the pectoral. Deeply breathe here. And we want to avoid collapsing. Next inhale will come up. And then just gently rock the head side to side. And twist in the opposite direction. Change up our breath to in the nose and out the nose at this time. And then turn so the upper body is over that lengthened leg. 1 or 2 blocks here. And then we can sweep, inhale the arms up or just out to that goal post. Think about leading with the navel, just wherever we go to at this point. We're just warming up. So we'll hinge here. Perhaps the blocks are up at their highest level. Maybe can cross here. But we just want to keep that lift. So it's navel and then heart center follows behind. Breathe into it. If it draws too much on the low back, of course, back off of it a little bit. You can always have a soft knee on this extended leg. And notice with each breath, perhaps you sink just a little deeper, maybe adjusting your blocks down. And take 3 more deep breaths here. As you slowly come up, maybe place the hand on the forehead to assist the head coming up. Take a deep inhalation as you come up. And then extend both legs out, point and flex through both feet. Inhale and sweep the arms overhead as we weave into a forward fold, making the attachment wherever it feels right for you. Inhale and just draw halfway lift. Exhale, sink in for 2 breaths. On your inhalation up, extend that opposite leg out and bring that foot to the inner thigh and placing your blocks on that other side. So once again, you place that forearm out, opening up through these ribs. So we're kind of in line with this extended leg. Option to lift that arm up, palm faces first skyward, and then palm faces toward the earth as we extend out. Or you can place the hand on your shoulder or your waist. Breathe here. Again, avoid collapsing into this. We're just expanding through the ribs, allowing all the air be able to come in and then fully exhale. Notice how this feels on your side body. One more deep breath here. And as we inhale up, just let the neck be soft, maybe even assist the head up. As you come back to center, and then do a gentle counter twist. Come back to center, and then upper body faces over that lengthened leg. Maybe have both your blocks here. And weave or sweep the arms overhead, leading with the navel. We'll hinge forward and just place those blocks wherever it's most comfortable as we hinge forward, going into this side stretch and breathing deeply. And taking just a couple more breaths here, noticing how your body feels on this side versus side one. Slowly coming back up. And once again, extend the legs out, keeping that soft knee. Have a little bit of tightness in the hamstrings. Let's once again point and flex through the feet, the ankles. And then just let the ankles be loose. Sweep the arms up. Hinge, lead with the navel, and make that attachment. Inhale, half look. Exhale, sink in. And then slowly come back up, maybe tracing spleen meridian, maybe weaving the arms up, whichever feels right. And then let's come on to our back sides. Yeah, and have your block handy. We're going to do bridge on a block. So going to that highest lift that is comfortable for your body. As we lie back, placing that block beneath the sacrum, not under the low back, but right at the bottom of the tailbone. And our feet are about hip width apart. Maybe take those arms wide to a T. And slowly begin to windshield wiper. Let the knees fall to one side. Notice how that feels. Might have to situate yourselves a little bit on that block. And if the block's not comfortable or doable at this point, you can certainly place it off to the side while you do your windshield wipers. And then slowly bring the knees back to center, allowing them to drop to the other side. Only gazing over that opposite shoulder if that feels right. And come back to center. And if you put the block to the side, you can place that beneath your sacrum now. Arms along our sides, very slowly. Lift the bum off the block, just to the height that feels right for you, pressing firmly through the heels, as well as the balls of the feet. Notice how this feels, the strength of your legs. And then very slowly come back down. And placing tailbone back on that block. Now we'll lift right leg, extend that leg up, point and flex through that foot, and then cross the ankle over the knee. It's hanging out here, pressing that left hip forward as we draw this right knee down. Noticing that opening sensation in through the groin and hip. That left heel is in line with that left glute. And we're breathing. Allowing this knee and hip to just kind of soften into gravity. Taking 2 more deep breaths. And then slowly, maybe just helping that knee up with that right hand. Extend that leg and then place that foot down. Once again, press through both heels. Slowly peel up into your bridge, pressing through the heels as well as the balls of the feet. And then setting your tailbone back down, just a little mini reset. And then the left leg lifts, extend, point, and flex. And then cross that ankle over. May notice a difference from one side to the other. Maybe one's more open. Just make a mental note. And rest that ankle. Again, gently press out through this left knee. Draw that left knee away from the left hip. Keeping both hips even. And noticing the sensation here. Taking 2 more deep breaths. And then slowly, maybe helping or assisting this knee up. Extend that leg. And then bring that down. Once again, press through both heels. Make sure the heels are beneath the knees. Lift. And now we'll take this block out of the way for now. Very slowly, one vertebra at a time, coming down the spine. Tailbone comes down last. And then we'll hug our knees into our chest. Maybe lift the nose toward the knees. And back down. So we'll do a little bit of abdominal work here. So we'll take our hands, interlace them behind the head, and bring the elbows up so that they're pointing toward the sky. So you may just want to look at me for a moment first. I'm going to bring my left knee in, and as I exhale up, lift up toward that knee, and then come back down. Other side, lift. So these aren't crunches, just merely lifting toward that knee, and then back down. And then we'll go back to side one. If you want more, lift that leg, extend, and down, extend, and down. And then if you want a lot more, we can come into this half boat kind of position and maybe lift up toward one knee and extend the other knee and then come back down. Option to keep the head lifted or rest it down. So there are different options here. And then we go toward the other side. Option to extend that leg out or just keep it in. So we'll do that for about 4 to 6 sets. And we'll begin now. So choosing whatever option you like. If you want a little bit more work, knees are lifted. If you want to just start with 1 foot down, that's fine too. So we'll begin. Elbows toward the sky. In. Maybe extend the leg. Come back center. Other side. A lot of ab work here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's 5. And if we have 1 more in us, come up, breathing all the while. Inhale, exhale, and release. That should feel good on the release. Bringing those arms out either to a T or that W. Notice the work you just did in your abdominals. Or maybe lift the tailbone and then reset that down. Take a deep breath. Notice the opening into the shoulders, in through the pectorals. And then however it feels good to either roll forward or roll to your side and make your way up to all fours. So we'll move through some cat and cow reset stretches. Exhaling as you come into your cat lift, maybe tucking the toes, getting a little bit of a stretch there through the soles of the feet. And moving your body organically, meaning however you naturally just go in to move through this. What feels good today for movement? Just a couple more rounds here. And then coming back to your neutral spine, let's kick out that lower leg. Maybe it's your right, maybe it's your left. Coming to that kneeling side plank. Now you can use a block or place the hand on your mat, whatever feels right. Option to bring the arm up or in one straight line with that lengthened leg. Another nice lengthening side stretch. Just take it another deep breath here. And then bringing that arm perpendicular to that shoulder, maybe lifting into that kneeling half moon, and then down, and lift, and down. 2 more. And if it feels good, maybe bending that knee, maybe reaching for that ankle, or maybe having a strap handy, or maybe not, maybe just bending that knee and seeing how that feels. And then releasing, we'll come back and reset in your cat cow. And then we'll kick out that opposite leg, coming in to that kneeling half moon on the other side, or kneeling side plank. Same options with that arm, maybe lengthening that out. Noticing how this side feels compared to side one. I always like to assess each side as I'm working to notice any consistencies or any inconsistencies. Where am I in balance? Where might I be needing more balance? And then lift that arm straight up, perpendicular to the shoulder girdle. Lift and down. Lift and down. I feel that in that hip. And one more time. And then we can bring this arm down. Perhaps bend that knee. Sometimes longer arms help for this. And reach toward that ankle, or just bend that knee a little bit. Let it hang out into space. And then release. And then let's come to kneeling. So we're kneeling here. Toes can be tucked for a little bit more stability. Even let's place a block in between the ankles. Place it so it's wide enough. Gazing ahead, draw that belly button in and up. Sweep one hand behind. You can have your hands, little fists right in that sacrum, lengthening up, or sweep one hand behind, reaching toward that heel, or maybe toward the block, whatever feels good. In that half camel, opposite arm can lift. And breathe. And if it doesn't feel good to have that arm lifted, you just keep that on the side waist. And then bring that first side back. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Deep breaths here. Second side. Maybe sweep that arm back toward the heel or toward the block. Options with that opposite arm. And then bringing that back, the belly. And maybe sitting back toward that block. Maybe you'll come onto the block, maybe not. And then we can tuck the toes. We're going to come into a little squat pose. We're not going to do that yet. We're just stretching through those toes. So this can also be called toes pose. You really feel that deep stretch sensation through there. And then if you have a little, I have my little garden kneeling pad, which I love for padding. Place on the knees or beneath the knees. And then we're going to do some lunges. So using the blocks you choose, good for balance. Stepping right foot forward. Now this rear knee is going to be a little further back because we're coming into low lunge. Front knee tracks over that ankle. So we're keeping a real deep abdominal connection here. You can have your hands at the blocks. And if you want to take it a little further, bring the hands just above the knee. Breathe. Sink into that hip flexor stretch. The top of the rear foot can be down, or again, the toes tucked. If you choose, you may bring the arms up overhead to that goal post or whatever feels good. Placing the hands down. And then let's lengthen back. Hinge. I like to use the blocks to kind of walk my hands back and forth in this stretch. One more time, we'll extend back. Hinging versus bending. And then bring that first side back, taking it to side two. Again, tracking that front knee just over the ankle. Rear leg is in an angle, so we don't have too much weight on that rear knee. Your choice, blocks, maybe hands on the knees. Breathing. Notice your smooth breath, or maybe it's a little jagged, but pay attention. You're noticing your breath. Option to lift the arms up, draw the belly button in and up with that breath. And then release. Extend back and hinge. This should feel good. And then coming forward. Keeping that knee tracking over the ankle. One more time, hinging back. And then bring that knee forward or back in line with the other knee. Take a reset in cat-cow. Now we'll go into a crescent lunge. So that's a little bit more balance, just doing the best we can. Stepping that first foot forward, and we'll tuck our rear toes. And we're going to lift the knee a little bit. You can take a wider stance. It's going to help with your balance here. And or not wider this way, but not longer. So here, that heel's lifted. And then you can maybe come up a little bit here. See how this works in your body today. Maybe the hands just stay right above the knees, or you can lift them overhead. Strengthening, balancing, breathing. One more deep breath. And release. I know that was good. That was good, everybody. And step back, reset. Notice how you're feeling. Other side, stepping forward, tucking rear toes. And again, if you take that front foot a little closer toward the edge of the mat. The rear foot to the other edge. It's going to help your balance a little bit. So lifting that rear knee, really engage like crazy through the core. You can keep your hands on the blocks at high height. Bring the hands of the knee or overhead into that full crescent. Your choice. Breathe. Power through the heel and then release down. Stepping back. And then we'll splay the fingers and tuck our toes, drawing up into our first downward facing dog and pedaling out, just softening heels toward the mat, breathing deeply. Finding length through the spine, gently tucking through the tailbone. And then walk hands and feet toward each other into your forward fold. Maybe just hang here and ragdoll for a few breaths. You can interlace the thumbs or hook the thumbs into your elbow crease, or just let the arms dangle and rest the hands. Softening knees, slowly weave or trace your way up to stand. And we're in our mountain pose. So as we stand in our mountain pose, let's step our right foot back. Spin that rear heel in, setting up for warrior. Kind of our warrior one. As we draw our arms overhead, that front knee tracks over the ankle. And then let's open to warrior two. So we're opening our hips, maybe heel toe that rear foot back a little bit, picking warrior one or warrior two. Lengthening out fingertip to fingertip. Turning that left palm up and reverse. Let that arm slide down the back leg as we reverse. Deep breathing. Reaching. Coming into your side angle. Forearm just above the knee. Again, no collapsing. Reach that top arm up. You can place that on your hip. Whatever feels right. Again, that long line of length we're creating here. Outer edges of the pinky toe, the foot are making contact with the mat. Lifting up that side waist. And then we'll return, warrior two. Turn palms up, lengthen through the lead leg, and bring hands to heart center of our wide stance here. And then we'll just simply turn to the other side. So that opposite knee tracks over the ankle. Rear foot is back is about 45 degrees. So we'll start within that warrior one position. And then as we open, our hips open along with that. Maybe heel toe that rear foot back into your warrior two. Softening shoulders. Sinking just as deeply as feels good in our bodies today. Turning that palm up and reversing, letting this hand slide down that back leg. Or you can come around for half bind if that feels good. Reaching deeply back. Or if you're taking care of a shoulder, take care of your shoulder. Let the neck be relaxed. Breath flowing. And then coming into your side angle. Lifting through that mid waist, finding that extension, that nourishing breath. Slowly return to your warrior two. And lengthen through that lead leg. Bringing the arms, hands together, heart center, heel toe in just a little bit. And prayer squat. Pressing deeply through the heels. We'll do 5 of these. Here's 2. Make sure that knees track over your ankles. Doing what we can just for today. 2 more. And then release. And now let's come back into our mountain pose and prepare to come into pigeon. Starting off, we can do this from our downward facing dog or all fours. Just weave our way down, forward fold. Maybe walk into your downward facing dog or simply set the knees down for your all fours. As you're ready, take right knee toward that right wrist. Be mindful of the knee, and if you have a blanket or towel for beneath that right hip, if it's lifted, gazing ahead, noticing how this feels. Deeply engaging through the abdominals, protecting low back. And then softening down, either using a block or wrapping the hands, maybe resting the forehead on those wrapped hands. wrapped fists. Next inhale, we'll slowly make our way up. Draw that belly button deeply in and up toward the spine. And slowly lift. Maybe slide to all fours or into that three-legged downward facing dog. Pedaling the feet a few times before taking the other side into your pigeon. As you're ready, take side two. Sliding into that position, slowly and mindfully always. Our hips square forward. Hands can be out further. Just depends on how your lower back is responding today. When you're ready to soften into your resting pose, go ahead and do that. Slowly making your way up. As you're ready, tucking toes, sliding into that all fours, three-legged, downward facing dog. And then bringing the knees down to all fours if you haven't already. Just take the knees wide and find your child's pose from that wide leg position. Next breath, let's walk the hands over to the right. Again, finding that length through the left side. 3 breaths. Coming back to center and taking the arms to the left, feeling that lengthening through the right side this time. And coming back to center now. Slowly sliding up as we bring our legs forward. And once again, coming on to our back sides. On our back sides, let's bring our knees into our chest, give ourselves a big hug. Always gratitude for making it to our mats. And place the feet down. Let's take some windshield wipers from here. Feet are just about hip width apart. Ankles right below knees, and let the knees fall to the right as you gaze left. And bringing knees back center, taking them to the left as you gaze right. Big deep breath here. Let it out with an audible sigh. Bring the knees back center, extending both legs out to the bottom corners of your mat, preparing for your Shavasana. If you have low back issues or bothers you at all, you can certainly keep your knees bent. Otherwise, just get comfortable for the next couple minutes. Gently notice your breath. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes, coming back to your body. And then rolling to one side as you're ready. Taking just a couple breaths there. And rejoining me in seated. Let's just place our flat hands kind of like a bird in flight. It's right over our heart center, offering gratitude to ourselves and then offering that up to the divine. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. Until next time, namaste.